Hey guys, happy Monday. I see our guest speakers here. I'm so excited for our team call tonight. Welcome to Flex Force Monday night team calls every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I always joke like one of my biggest takeaways from being a coach is like having to learn time zones. Which I think that and time change, like I hate them. But anyways, just like a fun fact. So let's like dive right into announcements so we can get to the good stuff. And thank you guys for being on time so that you can hear the awesome announcements. I know there's going to be like at least 10 more people that roll in. They're like, we're like the 805 crew here. So let me share my screen and let's get to the funs or like get going here. So let's start with some fun recognition. Way to go, everybody on the board. Helping change lives already this month, and it is almost halfway through the month. So I always like to have Success Club locked in for at the beginning of the month, so that you can keep filling your pipeline, so you have more in your pipe. You never take your foot off the gas, but it helps keep that momentum going as you head into months prior, or future months, not prior. Don't go backwards, go forwards. And you guys, these are the months, like right now we're in Q4, quarter four. It is not time to like show up once in a while. It is time to be consistent AF and show up when it's hard. I know you're gonna have family in town. I know you're gonna travel. I'm gonna do all those things too, and I'm still gonna show up for my business because it is my business. I did that when I was still teaching full time. I showed up for my business so that I could live the life that I'm living now. And it wasn't easy, but it was so worth it. So extra special shout out to Kathy and Cynthia, who have already locked in Success Club, and I know there's no stopping them there. And I'm gonna move over here to our top weekly PV earner is Cynthia, and our coach of the week I'm highlighting is Allie Harstein, because Allie is one of my girls going through the Diamond Mentorship right now, and I loved hearing this from her yesterday. She was like, I've never been so excited and not bothered by not signing anyone up in the past week. And I was like, well, tell me how you're feeling. And she was like, it feels so good to I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but it feels so good to treat the business like a business and be consistent every day. Like, it's amazing to be a boss. So I had to highlight her and just give her some love. So this is my little window here is like crazy. So let's get to news really quick. So we've had 22 new coach signups this week. Remember, shooting for signing up 2 people a week is like a game changer for your business, for your income to grow. If you haven't heard and you're under a rock, that's okay. I'm here to bring you into the light. Challenge packs are $20 off for November. Transform 20 launch is coming December 4th. And we have a special team call next Tuesday. Next Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Sean T. with Ashley Feldyson's team. So more details for that to come, but that will take place of our team call. And just know that we'll do something else in place of our team call, like a live power hour Q&A or something. So that will be next week. That's huge. Energized tubes go on sale December 4th as well, which are really nice for like water bottles. Beachbody's having a Black Friday sale, which is awesome for like just odds and ends things like prizes and whatnot. And we are having our Flex pre-Black Friday like sale party. This is wrong, Thursday through Saturday. And I will go live in the team page tomorrow to give you all the details. But you should be thinking of every single person who's in your pipeline to reach back out to them and get them in this awesome group. And of course we have the virtual work area. And remember, anyone who hits Diamond the end of the year and then holds it for 6 weeks, it can carry into the new year. You will qualify for a spot on our Diamond retreat. Summit, you have to get your booty to Summit. No ifs, ands, or buts. There's so many awesome things you guys can read going on for Summit. And I actually hope to be vision board, just putting it out there to the universe. I want to be a speaker at Summit. So anyways, now on to the best part. Ruth is here to do our team call, and I've like low-key been obsessed with Ruth for a long time. She wore this really cute outfit once, like it was like a glittery top and like a tutu, and it's just like forever ingrained in my brain, like that. It was just adorable. So she just came out of the gate running. She started in July 2014. She ended 2018 as a top 10 number 3 coach. She's a superstar diamond, 4-time elite, counting this year, because now we can lock in early, so that counts for next year. She's an executive leader on the leadership ladder, which is the highest, an SC10 all-star legend. She earned 6 figures her first full year as a coach. Like, that's crazy. And I absolutely love this picture because she's expecting, and after doing some IVF, and I was super excited for her. And so I'm going to stop my share and turn it over, and my nephew's at the door, so I'm going to answer it.
Hi guys, thank you for that intro, Rachel. It's so sweet, and I love my tutu skirts. So I'm totally flattered that's how you remember me. Hey guys, thanks for being here. I love that I'm preceding Shaun T next week. I mean, that is awesome. You guys are gonna love Transform 20, and it's funny listening to Rachel's announcements. Like, she's right on the course with what she's saying. I'm gonna like dive a little bit deeper into that tonight. Sorry, my dog's whining. Let me get him up here. He'll whine the entire call. So yeah, I want to back up a little bit and share a little bit about my story and where I came from, how I got into this. And then I have kind of 3 main points I want to share with you about dominating the rest of the year and how to continuously evaluate and grow your business for success. So first off, let me backtrack to 2014. When I first started coaching. So I was not looking for this opportunity whatsoever, but I was trying to get healthy and fit. So I was laying in bed one night crying to my husband about my body and my energy levels. And I'm the type of person where if I'm going to complain about something or cry about something, then I'm also going to do the work to change it. And it was like that night that I drew the line in the sand, and I was like, I can't, if I'm sitting here crying, feeling bad for myself about my body, it's time to take responsibility and to make changes to change how I feel and to change how I'm living. So in that decision, I started, I actually pulled out my old burned Insanity DVDs that I had from 2010 when I did not know coaching was a thing, but I was hosting Insanity workouts in my classroom because I was formerly a teacher before I got my master's degree. So I pulled out those DVDs, but I thought I was eating healthy. I didn't know how to eat healthy, but I was doing all the things that the magazines told me to do, but I wasn't losing any weight, and I was eating all the healthy foods, and I couldn't figure out why it wasn't going anywhere. So that led me to 21-day fix results. That's what I was searching on Instagram. I was literally searching hashtag 21-day fix and T25 results on Instagram. And I was, and this is something that I've always done, because I remember this is what brought me here. But I was simply looking for a girl who had my before body and looking for the after that I wanted. That's it. And so a lot of times in this business, we hear women say, like, I don't have a lot of weight to lose. Like, how am I going to appeal to somebody? But I was literally looking for the woman who had 5 to 10 pounds to lose. I wasn't looking for a massive weight loss transformation story. I was just looking for someone like me. So it doesn't matter if you have 100 pounds to lose or 10 pounds to lose, you're going to appeal to your people. It also doesn't matter if you have your end result yet, or if you are in the middle of it, or if you literally enrolled yesterday. Congratulations, put up your transformation coming soon photo. That is amazing, and get pumped about the transformation and the journey you're about to take. But so that's what I was searching on Instagram. And I like to share this story a little bit because it is also something I learned from. In this time, I was solely looking for the body, right? And I was all over top 10 websites of coaches. And I swear to you, I did not see the coach opportunity. It was just nothing. I didn't see anything about it because I was zoned in on my focus of changing my body. I found a girl whose body I wanted. I filled out her application. She never got back to me. I went and stalked her on Facebook. This is how desperate I was. I would have eaten dirt. So she could have told me anything, and I was going to enroll with her. And I went and stalked her on Facebook, added her on Facebook. She messaged me from there, sent me a hey girl message. And I said to her, yeah, I filled out your application. I want to join your group. And she said to me, she said, oh, you want to be a coach? And this is the important piece. This is the important piece about it. And I said, absolutely not. I am not fit enough to be a coach. I just want to be in your challenge group. Okay. And she took 7 days to respond to me after that. She was clearly looking for coaches, and I wasn't that person. In that 7 days, here I am. I got back on, actually, I ordered 21 Day Fix by myself in that 7 days. But then I was again searching Instagram, looking for inspiration. And somehow, and I don't know how, I got down a rabbit hole to YouTube. And while I was looking for 21 Day Fix or T25, I stumbled upon my coach's YouTube video, and it said, my first five-figure paycheck as a Beachbody coach. And that is when I was like, wait, what? I thought coaches were free. All of my Insanity DVDs, it says get a free coach. I didn't know you could earn money. This is a true story. And the girl who first asked me about coaching, if she would have put in one sentence, it would have changed everything. If she would have said to me, oh, do you want to earn money for your weight loss transformation? I would have been like, heck yes. Tell me more. Sign me up. But I didn't know there was an income opportunity. So on the other side of this, my husband and I were $245,000 in student loan debt alone. We also had credit cards at the time, our mortgage, we had our car payments, and we were drowning in debt. And I was a teacher. I then went back, got my master's degree, became an instructional designer. My husband, he was a veterinarian. Then he decided to specialize as an equine surgeon. So he went to do an internship and a residency. And so we were in his residency. This was one of the first years he was getting paid a minimal, but a salary. And I had just recently got like a $17,000 raise going into my master's career. So this was a time in our life that I've been waiting for. I don't know if anyone on here has ever said like, my life will get better when. My life's going to get better when, oh my gosh, when we pay this off, when I get the raise, when we move, when someone graduates, whatever it is. And my when had finally come in 2014, but things didn't get better. Things were still the same. We were still fighting all the time about income. Our student loan debt was dragging us down. And one day I had I'm a big picture planner. Don't ask me to plan small details of tomorrow. I'm not going to do that for you, but I will plan your next 20 years. So I'm a big picture planner. In 2014, I started researching what childcare costs look like. And that's when I realized that it was like $1,300 for like one kid a month. And I was like, oh my gosh, the when is never going to come. And my biggest fear, I have amazing, amazing parents. They work so hard. I grew up in a family of 6 kids. Their work ethic is exactly where I got my work ethic. I'm so thankful I saw them bust their butt to provide for us. But they fought about money all the time. And one of my earliest childhood memories, while I have amazing memories, some of my earliest childhood memories are about them fighting over money and us not having Christmas presents under a tree at Christmas, or not until Christmas Eve because they were robbing Peter to pay Paul. And I just have always worried about my parents' financial situation since I was 5 years old. And I knew going into my own marriage that I didn't want my kids to grow up in a household like that. That I didn't want my kids to grow up seeing my husband and I fighting about money. We didn't even have kids yet. And literally I was kicking him under the table when we'd go out to dinner with friends and he'd order an appetizer. And I was kicking him under the table like, what are you doing? We don't have that extra $7 for those fries. Like, come on. And I didn't want to live that life anymore. And so when I saw this opportunity, I thought, honestly, I did not think we would end up where we are today. But I thought maybe I could stop fighting with my husband about money. And so I went all in to earn $500 a month. And I'm going to tell you what all in looked like for me. But I said, I will do whatever it takes for 2 years to build this business if I can earn $500 a month. Long term, I wanted to earn $50,000 a year. And maybe if I wanted to be, because I didn't know if I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but I wanted that option if I chose to be when the time came. And so I always say that I came in with a very high work ethic and a very low expectation of what this business could do. I was like, I'll do whatever you say, Jessica, that's my upline coach's name, for $500 a month. Like, I was jazzed about that $500 a month. So I came in ready to work. And I actually, the first time I met with my coach, I had a business plan for her made. Business plan being very loose because I do not have a business background. I absolutely hated social media. So selfies, I had never, ever posted one before I became a coach. I posted twice on Facebook, the January to June before I started coaching. I thought hashtags were list just funny sayings. I didn't know that you use them until my friend told me this was right before I started coaching. When I was looking for T25 and 21-day fixed results, previous to that, my friend had to tell me what hashtags were for. So I didn't come into this with a business background or with wanting to post on social media. Additionally, on top of that, I was super, super insecure and worried about what everybody would think of me. I grew up in a small town, family always struggled with money. I was my first to go to a 4-year college. In that, I don't know why, but I was like, I'm going to join a sorority at my 4-year college, which I'm so thankful I did. But I always joke around that I was an ugly duckling in my sorority and that I squeaked in somehow, that I didn't belong there. And I don't know how I got there because I didn't have the right last name, or I didn't have the right money, or I didn't have the right look. And that's truly how I felt really until I learned how to love myself through coaching. But that's how I felt in 2014. And my biggest fear was actually my sorority sisters. What were they going to say about me? Were they going to judge me? Were they going to think that this was a stupid gimmick that I was trying to sell them? I'm going to tell you what my ride or die bestie told me when I enrolled in this, and it changed everything for me, because I was calling so I had my tight-knit circle of girlfriends, right? My 5 or 7 that I hang out with, but then, the rest of the sorority is 150 girls. But so I was calling my tight-knit girls, and I was telling them what I was doing. I was kind of beating around the bush about it. But I was just kind of getting feelers out there. What were they going to say? And my ride or die said to me, Ruth, if you're going to do this, treat it like a business. She said, treat it like a business. Don't just dabble, take pride in it and do it right. And that helped me so much, because honestly, I think that's the biggest flaw with most coaches, is that they don't treat it like a business. And I'm going to talk, I don't mean you have to work 8 hours a day. That's not what I mean. But take pride in what you're putting out there. Take pride in what you're offering to people in your challenge groups. Take pride in the products that we have. Take pride in knowing that this opportunity is gold. And she said that to me, and I was like, okay. She wanted to see me be consistent. She wanted to see me, not just make some BS post about, Transform 20 and all the details. She wanted to see the heart and soul and the real nitty gritty of it, and the change that happens when you stick to something. And so I went all in from the get-go with this. And all in for me was I would work 15 minutes on the way to work, because my husband and I carpooled. I'm at a full-time job. I would work during my lunch break, maybe for 45 minutes. And then we'd come home at night, we'd do dinner, we'd work out, which I don't consider business hours. I don't consider my workout business hours. Do a little bit of stuff. And then while my husband and I were sitting watching TV, I would work. So I'd work from 8 to 10 every night. So what is that? 2, almost maybe 3 hours in the beginning. And my business skyrocketed very, 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 very quickly and grew very, very fast, because I was being thoughtful in my actions. I was not scrolling social media. I did not give a crap about top 10 coaches or superstar coaches. And I didn't care who they were. This is Beachbody. Get out of your Beachbody bubble. This is not high school. Who cares about, in the big scheme of things, nobody is anybody. We are all just regular people. And there's some people who saw the business opportunity and decided to do it and not get scared and to treat it like a real thing. And there's other people who are putting people on pedestals. Don't be the person to put people on pedestals. Like imagine whoever that is that you have on that pedestal, imagine them ugly, imagine them crying, imagine them throwing something at their husband, imagine them with like no makeup on and like scary face all the way, because that's who they are at the end of the day. That's who they are. They're no different than you. The stress, the anxiety, the fear that you have, the challenges, the obstacles, they have it too. All of them. The insecurities, the limiting beliefs, every top 10 has their own. Trust me. I saw it on the top 10 trip. It's all there. The only difference is that these people didn't allow their fear, their stress, their limiting beliefs stop them from getting what they wanted most. They decided, I'm going to do the work anyways. So I'm going to tell you kind of my tips for how I built this in the beginning. But number one, the first thing that I did is I told you guys, like I wanted this $500 per month business. But there was something else that happened that I really believe catapulted my business. So when I came in at the time, we have the Success Club trip. And back in the day, you could actually crawl your way off like a 3,000 person list if you came in July. And that was my situation, is that I heard there was a Success Club trip. I heard that you could go if you sold enough challenge packs and helped enough people. And what I thought I heard is that I had to sell 100 challenge packs in 6 months. That's what I thought I heard. That wasn't the case at all. It was way more than that. I was like 3,000 and I had to work all the way up. But the first 2 months, I decided that I was going to take my mom, who did everything for us, everything. She'd never been on a real vacation like that. I really want to take my mom on this vacation and give this gift to her. And I just had it burn into my mind that I could earn it because I thought I just had to sell 100 challenge packs. And so I went to work to do this. And it was this little goal in my mind, like, okay, this is a push goal. I know it's going to have to work hard, but honestly, it was just for this one thing and maybe I can get it done. And that goal caused me to work with so much urgency. Success Club 5, screw Success Club 5. I wasn't working for Success Club 5. I wanted to take my mom to Mexico. I wanted to do something really cool for her. And so every day when I did not want to post because I was terrified my sorority sisters would judge me, or I would rather sleep, or I'd rather watch Real Housewives because I was a huge Bravo junkie prior to Beachbody. When I didn't want to do the things, I would truly picture taking my mom on this trip. And my sister, who is a really good friend of mine, I told her, I was like, I'm going to take mom, like I'm going to earn this and I'm going to surprise her and I'm going to give her this trip. And we would literally sit there and we'd talk about it. And I would sit in my car and I'd like visualize how I was going to surprise her when I earned it, visualize how I was going to meet her in Atlanta. We were going to meet and then travel to Mexico together. But honestly, the visualization of it is nothing compared to that moment and actually getting to do it. And like, I will never, ever forget my mom and I arriving in Mexico and her being greeted with a flower by the amazing little guys that come out and hand you a drink and a flower when you get there. And that moment was worth every single scary thing, every single obstacle, every time I didn't want to do something. It was worth all of it. And my point is, you have to have something like this that's going to push you. That is like a little bit of a push, but you're like, I think if I work hard enough, I can do it. It's right outside your comfort zone. It's not like top 10 or it's not like 15 star if you're just getting started, but it's just that thing that's like, if I do this, just run for this, it's going to push me. And I know that vision, the idea of it is so dang exciting to think about that I'm going to get over my BS and do it. So I don't know if it's a kid's birthday party or if it's a family vacation for you. I don't know what it is, but you need to pick that out and you need to put it on a vision board and you need to, this isn't like a dream. This is like a for real, I will do this. And I think this is one thing that separates how I look at things is I don't say I'm going to set a goal unless like I'm actually going to go for it. Like, unless I'm actually going to go for it. What that looks like for me is I say that crazy, stupid thing that I want to do, and then I backtrack. So I asked myself after I said, I'm going to take mom on this vacation, I thought to myself, what do I have to do in order to do this? And I started backtracking my goals. And I'm going to kind of have you guys evaluate your business in a second doing this. But for me, it was very much basic things. And I thought to myself, well, how did I get here? Why did I want to join someone's online boot camp? And I thought, I saw her transformation pictures. Okay, cool. I'm going to post my transformation pictures at least once, if not twice a week. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to host an online boot camp, and I'm going to reach out to all of those scary sorority girls first and foremost. And I'm going to invite all of them to it. And not only going to do that, but I'm going to host a specific group for them that's just for them. And we're going to have like a money bet pot, and whoever loses the most engaging, they're going to get the money bet pot, right? So I started getting creative because my dream, my vision was worth that urgency. Then I thought to myself, okay, how do I help at least 2 people every week? And if you guys haven't put it together yet, 2 people every week is $50 or is $100. So for me, when I wanted to make $500 a month, I was getting really dang close if I just helped 2 people a week. So I thought, how do I just help 2 people a week? And on top of that, how do I keep doing it? So asking them for referrals, having them send me their friends, creating that urgency. The group kicks off tomorrow. I have a $10 Amazon gift card for my first 5 people. Creating that urgency in every conversation. Because again, I didn't care about Success Club 5. This is Beachbody. Who cares about Success Club 5 at the end of the day? I wanted a business, and I wanted to take my mom to Cancun. I cannot stand it. Sorry, I just can't stand it. When coaches come in, they're like, I want to earn $500 a month. And I'm like, that is super easy. Help 10 people. That's about 2 people a week. So let's start with 2 people a week. And then what happens is coaches of new, old, veteran, every star diamond, they wait until the last week of the month. And I'm like, wait, okay, so you worked your business 1 week this month, essentially. But you told me you wanted to earn $500. So do you want to earn $500 or do you want to hit Success Club 5? Because one is a Beachbody recognition thing, and the other is your life that could be fun and exciting and life-changing. Like to me, I want the $500. I don't care about the hat, Beachbody. Yay, I can get another hat. Do you know how I bought this hat today? Because I can. Because I never cared about Success Club 5. I wanted more out of life. That's what I want you guys to see with this business, is that it can be so much more. Please don't let it be about a hat. Don't even let it be about a diamond retreat. Be the person who throws a diamond retreat. Be the person who can literally shower. I spent $1,000 at Michael Kors on gifts for my coaches the other day. Do you know how crazy that is? That is insane to me. I couldn't afford like anything before this. I hated Christmas because I had to give gifts 5 years ago and I didn't have any money to give. But because I got my BS, because I did the things other people wouldn't, I can now give freely. Last month, we sponsored a girl's family. Like, that's what this is about to me. It's not about the Beachbody recognition stuff. It's about the bigger stuff of how I can give back in life. I don't know what your thing is. I don't know what sets you on fire and that makes you excited. It's different for everybody. And it could literally just be, maybe you want a Bentley or something. Awesome. You don't have to apologize for that. It's your life. You do you. Like maybe that's your thing and that's what sets you on fire. Cool. Do that. Do you know why? Because in doing that, you don't get that Bentley without helping a whole lot of people get healthy and fit, without helping a whole lot of people build awesome Beachbody businesses. So you make that income for whatever reason you want, because at the end of the day, you only earn it if you serve others. You only earn it if you help others. There's no way around that in this business. And that is the really, really, really cool thing. So that is my first thing, is know your vision, know your why, know what you're fighting for. Let me do a time check. I tend to rant. Oh my gosh, it's 7:30. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up. The other thing is, and actually I'll probably, yeah, we'll see. I'm like, I don't know where we're going. The other thing is you determine what's hard. You determine what is hard in life. It is 100% perspective. It is 100% your vantage point. And it being November 1, this is the time, just like Rachel said, we are in 2019 in my mind. 2019 has already started. If you want to grow an awesome business in 2019, it starts now. On Christmas Day, people are going to finish their piece of pie, and then they're going to message you and say, hey, do you have an open spot? I just ate 3 pieces of pie, and now I'm ready. This is a true story. Like, this happens to me every single year. Do you know why it happens? Only because during the hard months, when other coaches, they're like, oh, it's August, my kids are going back to school. Oh, it's September. There's a leaf in my driveway. It just dropped. It's hard this month. Oh, it's October. It's getting a little bit chilly now. Oh, it's November. I have to cook a turkey in 2 weeks, and I'm so stressed out about it. I don't know. And these people stop being consistent in their business. Do you know what I do in that time? I'm like, I am about to rock and roll. I'm about to pick it up in my invites. I'm about to pick it up in my posts. I'm about to pick it up in every area, because there's a bunch of people who are saying it's hard, but they haven't realized they are creating the hard. Because they're saying, oh, this is so hard right now, but it's because they're not showing up consistently because of the turkey they have to bake in 2 weeks, or cook whatever you do with a turkey. I don't do that, obviously. Whatever they have to do. And they're telling themselves, oh, it's hard. So they stop reaching out to as many people. Your thoughts 100% push your actions. And I don't know about you, but if I am sitting here saying like, oh, my friend has a party on Saturday, but it's like really, really, really going to suck. I don't really want to go to it. How do you think I'm going to prepare for that party? I'm not, or I'm going to maybe ditch out. It's the same thing in our business. If you're sitting here saying, oh, it's really hard, nobody's going to want to enroll because they're eating turkey in 2 weeks. No, people want to enroll. They don't give a crap about turkey, like whatsoever. They want to change their life with you. They want to change their body with you, and they're ready if you're ready, but they're following your lead. So stop saying it's hard, and instead say, everyone else, this is honest to God, like this is how I grew my business massively in 2017. Doubled my income, highest earning ATV, like stupid income growth last year when everyone else was saying, oh, my income isn't growing as much. I was like, bye, I'm about to kick booty because you guys are too busy complaining, and I'm going to show you what's possible. And 100%, that's exactly what happened. It's because you get to choose your hard. Additionally, hard things happen in life. Hard things happen in life. Last year was probably my hardest emotional year for me. It was our first year of our fertility journey, and just having like no answers and not knowing what was going to happen. And I was just caught off guard. I didn't know it was going to be so hard to get pregnant. And so last year was super hard for me. But the reason I was able to push through is, number one, I set a massive team goal at the beginning of the year. I said, we're going to go for number one. And again, it wasn't just like a fun thing I said. It was like, I said it, and then I backtracked and said, what do I need to do to make this happen? And I announced it to my team. I announced it to the world, and it was too late. So it didn't matter if I had obstacles. It didn't matter if I was crying because I got another negative pregnancy test. It didn't matter because I had goals, and I had a team to serve, and I had challengers to serve. And I got up and I did the work anyways, which is a blessing, which is a huge blessing. Because here's the deal, you guys, is like bad stuff happens in life. And number one, honestly, what I am going through with what I was going through with my infertility journey, like, it isn't that bad. I mean, yes, it's bad. I would never wish it on anybody, but I literally had to do this to myself multiple times and say, like, Ruth, are you dying of cancer? Did someone in your family pass away? No, life is not that bad. You are blessed on so many levels. So stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop dwelling on the situation. Know that God's going to provide, and get the F up and do something for somebody else. Because honestly, I did not see the point in crying for weeks on end about my situation. I didn't, because it didn't make me feel better. I've asked Ben multiple times, because I'll hear these things. I'm like, but how does laying down and crying for weeks on end? And don't get me wrong, I 100% had days where I cried 100%. Yes, that happened monthly for a long time, where I'd have 2 or 3 days where I would cry and I'd let it out. But then I would get up and prove to myself that I was stronger, that I was capable of more, and that God has given me gifts to use to impact others. And me laying on the couch crying about my current circumstance is not using those gifts. When I would show up, do you know it would make me feel better? getting in my challenge groups and hearing these messages from people about how their life has changed or how their body has changed, that picked me up in the middle of my hardest time. It also proved to me that I was stronger. You guys, you cannot get stronger without a struggle. You cannot get stronger if life is always perfect, if life is always good. The struggle is what makes you stronger. The struggle is where you prove to yourself that you are capable of more, that you can do more. And that is where, honestly, the beauty of your personal growth comes into play. Anytime I have been presented with an, let's quote unquote, obstacle in this business, and it used to be small things like traveling, or I was moving houses or something like that, and that would be my obstacle, I would welcome it as an opportunity to show people what's possible. That, okay, you can stay on track through a move or while you're traveling. And when the fertility stuff hit, I had to think of it in the exact same way. Here's what is possible throughout this journey. Your life doesn't have to stop. You don't have to have a hard life just because you are having a hard moment in life. There is a big difference, and you get to choose where you live. Do you want to live a good life because you can, and it's just a matter of perspective, and it's just about changing that mindset and knowing that you are capable and that you are stronger and that you can achieve anything that you want through the hard, because we all have that hard stuff. And that is where I will stop, because I could ramble for another 30 minutes, I'm sure.
Oh my gosh, like seriously, all the chills, it was like one truth bomb after another. And I think having you speak tonight was like perfect for everyone's, like, you should just do like a tour in November and December, because that, you're right. Like everyone is like, it's hard. And it's only hard if we say it's hard. And so I love it. I think everyone needed to hear that today. Can we do a couple questions?
Absolutely. Yes. Okay. Ask away.
Okay. I'll start. I think I know the answer, but so did you start inviting to the coaching opportunity right away? And what did that look like for you?
Yes. So I was actually super nervous about it. I read a book called GoPro. Is that Darren Hardy's book? Okay. There's two that have a similar name, GoPro. And that actually helped me learn a lot of respect for network marketing, because I never wanted to be the network marketing girl. And then here I was in network marketing. So that helped me a lot in regards to learning how to talk to people and kind of growing a respect for network marketing. And yes, I did. My first month, I began inviting the coach opportunity. I'm not going to lie to you though. I invited what I would call like low-hanging fruit, and like people that I did not care if they said yes or no. Like I didn't care if they were going to judge me. So I just started asking those people to practice on, if you will, while I built up my self-confidence. But at that same time, I was aggressively inviting challengers. So while I wasn't as aggressive in the coach opportunity then, I was aggressively inviting challengers. And then immediately, as soon as I got to week 2 or week 3, I was inviting them to the coach opportunity. So that's how I like eased my way into inviting the coaches that like I was really interested in having on my team.
Awesome. So they were like getting results, and then it was like an easy.
Yeah. And what that looked like too, because I think this is where a lot of people go wrong, or they think that they have to do something. I didn't have a business. I didn't have any success. And so I would literally, after I said, are you open to learning more about coaching? I think you'd be great at it. After they said yes, I would send my coach's webinar. I don't know if you guys do a team webinar, but I would send my coach's webinar, and I'd just be like, this is my coach. Here's what she's done in 4 years. I'm just getting started, but I have big plans to do the exact same thing, and send the video. So they knew who she was. They knew her success right away. And I was dropping, because income is what got me here. I was saying she's earned $1 million in 4 years. Mind blown. I'm just hoping that I can possibly meet my full-time income someday. And then I'd send her like her video. That way they saw what she was capable of doing. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do big things too. But I didn't know if they're going to be that big at the time.
That's awesome. I love, like always default to people above you, but I love that you put that in there. Like, I'm going to do the same thing. Like, I'm just getting started, but kind of like, let's do it together.
Yep.
Awesome. Lauren wants to know, how do you maintain communication with your coaches and customers as your business expanded? Like, how do you stay organized?
Yep. So one thing to remember is people are always coming and going, right? So it's not like I have the same customer for 4 years and they still need me or want me. They're in and out. Like I have a girl today, she messaged me her progress pictures and she just messages me like every 2 months just to check in. And like, I'll reach out to her and check in with her sometimes, but she's very much like doing her own thing. And so people come and go. So it's not like I have 4 years worth of customers who need me all the time. But now I use Streak. I used to just use a pencil and paper. But in Streak, I have my current challengers. So I consider current challengers like anyone in their first 6 to 8 weeks. And so those, coaches and challengers get a weekly check-in every week. And so I mark it in Streak. I have in Streak also what program they're doing and the date that they started. So I know like what week they should be on and that type of thing. But obviously that's also in the Challenge Tracker app. So it's just easier to see in my Streak. So that's how I do that. I should do a newsletter, but I don't because I'm a bad coach apparently. But I do know a lot of better coaches than me do newsletters to stay in contact, which maybe I'll make my assistant do that at some point. But at this point, no.
I don't think that makes you a bad coach. Maybe I'm saying that because I don't do one either. But
I know. I'm like, it has been on my list to have someone else do for a long time, and I'm too lazy to even have someone else do it.
Yeah, and making something look pretty is not my forte. So, how often do you do a coach like call to action, and how do you balance sharing the challenger opportunity with the coach opportunity?
Yes. So like on paper, I try to do a coach CTA at least twice a week on my Instagram feed. So my actual posts, doing at least 2 on there. And then in my stories, I try to talk about it every day. It's hit and miss whether I do, but it's always like, okay, how am I going to talk about coaching today in my stories? And the thing is if I'm not treating it like a business and being what is that word I'm looking for? I used it earlier, like strategic in that, like if I'm not paying attention, being intentional, if I'm not being intentional in my coach CTAs, sometimes they'll get left behind and I won't do them. And that impacts my business highly. Like if I'm not writing it down, like I'm going to do an Instagram story today, because at this point, I feel like it all bleeds together. And I feel like I do it all the time. But the reality is sometimes I don't do it for like 5 days. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't done it in 5 days. So if you're not being intentional and really watching it, it can slip away from you. But I try and do like a coach opportunity at least every 2 or 3 days on my Instagram stories, always talking about it. And then at least 2 posts per week, coach call to action. In regards to balancing, so I'm not going to lie, like I'm not good at balancing it. The coach opportunity is my passion. And that's where like I want to spend all my time because of what it's done in my own life. And so I wouldn't say I'm great at balancing those things. I am always inviting to coaching. I'm always talking about coaching, and actually my fitness and my challenge online boot camps is where I lack the most. So I wouldn't say I have a great balance, but that's honestly like what fills my cup. I'm trying to get better at that balance, but I'm definitely probably need to up that a little bit.
Cool. I appreciate the honesty. I feel the same way. And maybe that's like the teacher in you and the teacher in me, like that. I prefer to teach like the business side. And like give me the tools, tell me the calendar, like I'm good. I don't need a challenge group to thrive. But I like the coaching opportunity is like, that's everything to me. How soon or when did you hire someone to help you start doing tasks that you didn't want to do?
This is a good question, and I'm going to answer it from a business perspective and not a what did I do perspective. I mean, I'll tell you that too. But just because I do work with a lot of moms and things like that. So number one, your priority should 100% always be your vital behaviors. Who are you inviting, and making sure that you're putting a good marketing strategy out there on social media. Those should be your top priorities that you do every single day. You should not get lost in the weeds. What I consider the weeds is making pretty pictures. Pretty pictures are not going to produce income for you. Neither is watching a YouTube video. Neither is watching a YouTube video about how to make pretty pictures. Like, all those things aren't going to produce income for you. So don't get lost in the weeds of doing stuff. Scrolling Facebook doesn't do that for you. So, and I say that because, one, hopefully your priority is in the right place, that you are spending your time having conversations with potential customers or coaches. First and foremost, social media. Secondly, and those kind of go hand in hand. It's hard to do one over the other. But what happens is people tend to gravitate and start doing these non-income producing activities as their business hours. And so if you're a mom and now nap time, you have spent all this time making a graphic that's not going to make you any income ever. You have just wasted your 30 minutes picking out what colors you should use. Don't do that. Number one, if you are good at having that discipline and not getting lost, that is awesome. I am not good at having that discipline, but I also didn't have kids when I started this. So in the beginning, I hired an assistant. Not in the beginning. It was, I don't know when I hired, probably a year into coaching. But it's when I realized, like, I was spending mental energy doing things that weren't going to produce income for me. And I say that's what I did, and that's not what I recommend my coaches to do. It depends on what your goals are and what your time gives you. Because even if my coaches aren't making six figures and they are working hard and they have a full-time job and they want to be a stay-at-home mom and they're serious about it, I'm like, why wouldn't you hire an assistant for $30 a week, $25 a week to take something off your plate? So then when you show up to work your business, you can do those things that are going to produce more income. I think of everything as a business opportunity, or as a business mindset. One of my coaches I was talking to the other night, she's like, because we were talking about being a mom in this business, and I asked her for feedback, and she's like, you just approach everything from a business mindset. You don't separate mom, business. You just think business. And that is very true, but that's because I built this business for my future children. I wouldn't even be having kids if it wasn't for this business. So I will always be a working mom because of that. And I will always think of this business from a business perspective. So when my coaches are like, I want to, or if they are a stay-at-home mom right now, if they're on maternity leave and they're like, oh, I really, want to continue being a stay-at-home mom, but I'm going to have to go back to work, but I don't have time to work the business. I'm like, get a nanny for 2 hours a day, or hey, get a YMCA membership because you can drop your kids off at go to IKEA. Do you know IKEA? You can leave your kids in their shopping thing. Like this is real. I didn't even know, but I'm going to tell everybody now, like, leave your kids at the IKEA daycare, go up to their little bakery and work there for 2 hours. Like, Lord knows people spend like 4 hours in IKEA at a time. That's like free childcare. But I'm like, wait, so you're going to risk going back to work full time, but you're not going to put like 2 hours of daycare into your child's life, or your kid can't watch a movie for 2 hours a day, right? But you're going to have to leave them for 8 hours a day. So to me, I'm like, hey, have your kid watch a movie for 2 hours a day. You're not a bad mom for that. And you're not a bad mom if you go to work 8 hours a day. You're not a bad mom in any regard. Like, so I think people get fixated on things that, like, they don't think about the alternative. To me, it's always, what is the alternative? What's the alternative? What's going to happen if you don't have that time to build your business? What's the alternative there? And I think about it, how do I invest in my business to grow it?
Amazing. Because and those are the things, like, too, like, yes, in those moments, it might be really hard to, be showing up. Like, I remember when I was 6 weeks postpartum and, nursing 75 million times a day. And it was really hard to want to grab my laptop. But the alternative is me still teaching full time and not being with my kid. And he is so energetic. Like tonight, I didn't even have him today. He was in daycare and he was so energetic tonight. I was like, if I was still teaching, I would either be losing my mind, screaming at him, like, to calm down, or I would be like physically exhausted that I couldn't even play with him. And both of those make me really sad to think about. So it was hard to make those decisions to move forward. And last question, how do you find your people? Like, what's your...
Yep. So, 2 different ways. One is free groups, and I can send it to Rachel. I totally like mimicked Krista. No, that's not Ursta. What is Ursta's first name? Katie Ursta. Katie Ursta's free groups, when I saw it, and free groups helped me find like a ton of people basically for free every month via Instagram or my Facebook page. And so what I will just say about that very quickly is I don't do free groups longer than 3 days though. It is 3 days in and out. And it's done and done. And I don't plan ahead of time. I'm not a planner again. So I'm literally like, oh, what's my free group going to be about next week? I'm like, oh, Mexican food. And then like I post on Instagram, and then like next week I go to BOD and I search Mexican recipes, and then I put those recipes up one per day. And then I go live and I do like an ab workout for 3 days in a row. Very simple, very unplanned, very non-time consuming. Because I know a lot of people also they're like, I just spent 24 hours working on my free group. And I'm like, no. Like, please don't do that. Don't spend your time like 24 hours making a beautiful free group. Just have energy, go live in there, have energy, show them how to pack your kids healthy lunch or whatever you're doing. And, just show them you. That's what they want to see. So free groups is one. And that helps me on every area. And then I use the 4-3-2-1 method, is that what they call it on Instagram, where I go to like my bachelorette girls that I love on The Bachelor. Because I noticed like going to like TIU team pages, they were all like heavily invested. And I was like, what bachelor girl do I really want to hang out with? And then I just go and look at her people that are commenting. And that's how I find people.
Oh, I love that. How do you transition? This is for real last question. Those people in free groups, like, do you just do a live video? What's your like jam? I love that you just like wing it. And yeah, you're like matching your energy with the priorities. Like none of those people have invested. Like, you don't need to go crazy investing with them. I'm obsessed. Anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, as long as your live doesn't like abs are just my thing, but clearly I'm going to have to get a new thing because abs are going away. So, but like whatever your thing is, do that the thing that you really like. And so, how do I transition? I treat it like a business. Like they are in there. They know I'm a business owner. And so like, yes, I am going to show them, I say it's 3 days, and then I have 2 more days where I'm talking about my challenge group, where I'm showing them BOD, where I'm saying, hey, kicking off my, December boot camp. Who wants to get a full 30 days of this type of information, or my full, plan? So in that group, and I'll send you Katie Ursta's YouTube video, but here's the deal. You can't watch the YouTube video unless you're going to do it, because otherwise you're wasting your life. So don't spend all this time watching her video for nothing unless you're going to turn around and do it. But in there, she has some really great strategies about how she closes the deal and like what she's posting in there, doing the FOMO post. So that is very successful. I also hate doing it, but I have to do it if I want it to work. And so like being like welcoming this challenger, and I have my challenger sign up, and honestly, when I first did it, no one was biting. So then I put my sister's name on there, and I put my assistant's name on there. And then I like started adding other people. And then by the end of it, like I had 4 people sign up. So creating that FOMO in the group, by having people's names in there. So I would say like on days 3 and 4, so I'm extending it 1 day, but that last day is literally just like me talking about my boot camp and what's going to happen in there and how they can join me. And I do ask for their emails, so that way I can do an email blast as well and send them an invite through that.
Perfect. Oh, Ruth, thank you so much. I love your like straightforward, no BS like attitude, and you're just showing like there is no secret sauce in this business. It's just showing up and working hard, and having that urgency is a game changer. Paired with vision is like lethal. So thank you so much. I'm so excited for you to go on your pregnancy journey. And it's literally like, it's crazy how much some people like freak out, like, oh, I can't be a coach when I'm pregnant. I know you know this too, like that. I'm like, no, actually, like that's when my business took off.
Engagement is like insane. It's almost like I'm like, wait, whoa. Is this really how easy moms have it in the background? Because this is like so easy right now.
I know, and my husband always jokes like, hey, do you want another boom in your business? Like, are you ready to get pregnant again? I'm like, it's kind of true. Plus you're like hilarious in your posts, like when you're like doing your like when you put your hands down, I was dying because that's how it feels. It was just real and relatable. But anyways, it's only like, I don't know. Anyways, you know, I love you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. And guys, our team winner or our winner for the PD, send me your address, Tiffany H. Have an awesome night, guys, and I'll hop back on for a live Q&A. Bye, Ruth. Thank you.